Hi you guys, welcome to a live. So I'm really excited because obviously I haven't done some lives in a while, but I really wanted to share these ideas with you. My husband and I went to the dollar store. Sorry, put that back. Hold. All right. We went to the dollar store and had way too much fun, and I got way too creative and ended up just grabbing and grabbing and grabbing. But luckily it was a dollar store. So we do have a fun craft to do today. All right. So this is what we will be creating today. How pretty is that? So I know it's kind of hard to tell with the lighting, but this is a pink, like kind of like what's it called, like a rose pink or a rusty pink or rustic pink, something like that. All right, so that's what we got here, and you can see some lace, and we have these on to be able to hold pictures. So it's super cute and kind of a unique little flower slash bow that I did there. So that's what we're going to be creating today, and what we're creating it out of, and this is kind of the really fun part. Once more, this is all from the dollar store. So we're making it out of this. So how many people are like getting things for Halloween, and you go into the dollar store and they always have some cute things. So this is one of the things that I saw that I was like, I can make that into something fun. So I mean, some of you guys might have them and want to use them, or even just use it for this craft even. So I mean, $1 at the dollar store, right? All right, so we're going to start off just by cutting off the ribbon because the black doesn't really match what I got. Okay, so that's how we're just going to start. And then the other thing that I was super excited about getting was this. And so this is pretty much what inspired it all. As I saw this, I was like, this is just so pretty. And so what this is actually drawer liners. Okay, so show you what I got. And like I said, this was just at the dollar store, and I was like, it's so pretty, it needs to be made into something. And so this is the idea I came up with. So there's enough in here to do about 2 of these signs, and I think this is kind of a standard size that the dollar store will have. And so I already made one out of that one, and I'm not even going to have to open this one. There was enough left over to do 2 of them. So that's really exciting, making sure you guys can see. All right, so what I started it with is I lined up, kind of on the straight edge. Get back to where it's supposed to be. All right, and you want to leave about 1/2 inch around the edges, but you do want to trim it up some because it does kind of bunch in the back. You'll see that the back of mine isn't super pretty by any means. It's very crafty, and you can put another backing on it, but I figured that would just take too much time for our live. All right, so here we go, and I'm just going to trim up the one side. Okay, so like I said, about 1/2 inch, and because I'm still kind of in transit, I'm not doing any measuring, but I mean, it will definitely come out more together if you guys end up using rulers, but you can definitely get away without using them as well. So that cut off about an inch strip. Okay, all right, and so then what I also did was along the borders, just kind of cut the edge. Can you see that? You're cutting off the corner. So demonstrate over here. Just cut off the corner. It makes it a little bit less hectic to work with. And also on the top, make sure I'm not sliding it too much because I did try to prep a little bit. All right, and the top ones will be a little bit longer because of the odd shape of it. All right, and then what I also did, if you can see here, make sure you can see, all right, is I slit the corner just so then we can come in on that little curve in that it has. Okay, so I'll do it on these 2 so then you guys can see it. Make sure you can see it. There you go. And just do a little slit, not all the way to the point, but really close. Just leaving like a millimeter or 2. All right. And that is a very good start. All right, and make sure you have it all lined up before you start gluing. So I got my hot glue gun, which is hopefully hot enough. I forgot to turn it on. Okay, we're good. All right. So what I like to start with is the edges, that very corner, right? So you pull that kind of split apart, and that's what you're going to be gluing down, okay? So you do one side and just kind of pull it as tight as you can. And I'll be honest, I burned myself a decent amount of times doing this last night, and I was still trying to, kind of figure it out, but so hopefully I won't get myself as much today. All right, and then I'm going to do the other corner. Okay, one side. And I wasn't able to get everything exactly, you know, giving that curvature on it, but it looks adorable, so I figure I got it close enough. Oh, didn't quite get the glue in the right spot there. All right, and so I usually just do 2 corners and then start folding in. Okay, so I've got these, and I'm just going to fold them in and glue them down. Super easy. Like a lot of people have noticed with my lives, I really try to do them in a way that anybody can do them. So if you're new to crafting, or you just want to try something new for one day, just try something out, then these are great lives for just about anybody. And even for older children, I mean, if they know how to use a glue gun, then they can probably do this too. All right, and so I'll work on the other 2 corners. And luckily, I'm going to jinx myself, but luckily I haven't burnt myself yet, so that's headed in the right direction. Okay. And now the other one. I'm trying to get this done as quickly for you guys so you guys can get the gist of it, and then you'll be able to do it yourselves really easily. Okay. Alright, and then we can do these sides. Make sure that any loose ones of the flaps are already down, because otherwise they will kind of catch and it will all come up. So you need something to be able to glue these to. So you have to make sure they're all kind of glued down. Alright, then I'm going to go across the top. And with the mini glue gun, I think I used about 2 sticks. So, I mean, I have 3 for good measure. Alright, that's one more side done, so we're down to 2 sides, halfway there. Lots of strings. Just starting to get to the end of the first glue stick, and still just folding it down on the edges with the glue. Make sure you push it down good. Alright, and then we just have the top, and the top is a little bit more difficult. Okay, so I like to cut a little bit extra off of there just to make it a little more smooth. So just kind of like cutting the corner again. Just a little triangle off the corner. It just makes a little bit less extras just kind of floating around on you. All right, and then we kind of did a little slit on either side. Like I said, you can measure this all out, but I like to try and keep these nice and quick for you guys. And it turned out beautifully anyways without measuring, so I think you should be fine. Alright, and then we're going to do the other side of the top. I am quite amazed that I haven't burnt myself bad yet. You should have seen me last night. My brother-in-law was totally laughing at me, and I earned that laughter. Alright, so I think just because of the way that it's rounding, I'm going to do 2 more slits just here. Because you don't want too much bunching right at the circle there, because you're still going to have to get some material through it. So pull down the middle and cover that spot, and actually do it around your hole, because you don't want your hole filled with glue, because otherwise it'll get a lot harder to get some ribbon through it. Alright, and down, and down. Alright, and that's your basic framework. How cute is that? And I mean, you can do different materials or stuff like that. Like, you don't have to go and find a drawer liner. It'll basically be the same. I've also done where I literally just used cardboard and used wrapping paper. And I tell you, I put that sign on my door for like 5 years, and we still have it floating around our house. I had to glue on the bow once or twice more, but it's amazing how long it can last when you're just, you know, remembering that it's wrapping paper and to be nice to it. All right, so that's where we're at right now. And also from the dollar store. So this is all dollar store stuff. Now remember, I'm still in transit, so I'm really just working with the minimal purchasing. All right, so these are what I ended up getting. So we have the lace there, and the pink ribbon, and look at, I'm almost out, so I'm really lucky that I had enough for my two signs. And then I just got this plain white one. Now you probably have enough with just the lace and one other ribbon. So this one was really just like a crazy extra. All right, so we got that all lined out, and then I measured out. So I'm going to use this one as an example because I already cut the others out to be able to do it faster for you. But make sure you guys can see. But literally, once more, without a ruler or anything, because I don't have anything like that right now, I just kind of lined up where it was going to be, and then I cut and made sure there was at least ½ an inch on either side. Go ahead and do an inch if you're worried, you know, like it's always better to have a little bit extra, and it's just wrapping around the back. So it's nothing to worry about. Have a bit extra, you're fine. So you'll want 2 of the ribbon sizes about that big, and you'll see it's probably a little bit over a foot, so like 1.25 feet, maybe it's right around a foot. All right, and so it's just laying over the extras, you can see, and you can go ahead and eyeball it out like I'm doing, because once more I don't have a ruler, or you can measure it out. And I'll definitely you know, like if you're a little unsure about it, then go ahead and measure it out, and measure it from the sides in. So you'll want to measure from these sides in, and just mark it 2 or 3 times, and then you'll be able to have a place where you know exactly where to put the ribbons. So that's eyeballing it whereabouts we're going to be. All right, and then we can just start gluing. All right, so I'm going to put that right about there, and it's easier if you're eyeballing it to just go ahead and do one side and then go to the other side, because then you can look at the other side and kind of adjust if things have changed while you've been gluing. All right, so just putting glue along on the ribbon, because once more with eyeballing it, you can fix it better if it's on the ribbon instead of on the material itself. All right, let's put a little bit more on to get this going a little bit quicker. So doing like 2 to 4 inches at a time is kind of what I was doing, just so I can keep on making sure that I'm kind of going in a straight line. At least I'm hoping. But once more, if you do the measuring, then that hope won't need to be there. You'll have it. And I do like to kind of smooth it out a little bit, so then that glue kind of spreads out, because otherwise it does get you know, kind of bumpy under there. So if you want it to be nice and smooth, then just kind of rub along, and that glue will spread out, and so it won't be as clumpy underneath. All right, and I don't even worry about the sides yet. I just leave it flapping for now, okay? And we'll go ahead and start on the other side. All right, set that aside. Get that out of my way. All right, and once more, I'm going to look at this one and kind of see. Oh, sorry, you guys. I don't have my normal stand, so we're working with what we got again. All right, so that looks about right. Fingers crossed. Oh, it's in just a touch more. All right, gonna go for it. All right, and we'll just go ahead and keep on working on this one. And you could do just about anything at this point. Like really, this background is just a blank canvas that you get to do whatever you want. So you could just go ahead and put a bow on it. Oh, well, you guys can see better. All right, you can go ahead and just put bows on it, or put ribbons whichever way you want, whatever color. I was thinking a blue with the shine would be nice too. Kind of a more rustic blue type color. All right. So that is one done, okay? Good show. All right, try and get you guys situated. Keeps on moving on us. All right, there we go. All right, and so then at this point, this is when I'll go ahead and glue the ribbons down. Okay, so this one you can go ahead and do on the material itself. If there's too much extra, you can go ahead and just cut that off. You don't have to have it there. All right, and you can smooth it down again. And now at the bottom. All right, yeah, finally got some glue on myself. Yeah, you guys should have seen me last night. It was hilarious. My brother-in-law was completely laughing at me because of how much glue I kept on just slipping. My hand would just slip, and then I was covered in glue and complaining about being burned. All right. I'm just getting some of the extra strings off from working with the hot glue gun. All right, and then with the lace, I kind of like letting the lace be a little bit frilly on one side, you know, as much as it can, and kind of giving it that loose kind of look. So what I generally do is I just glue just the bare side, just the one side, right? So the way that I did that, make sure y'all can see, is I took my glue gun and I went just slightly along the side of this ribbon. So not on it, but just right along the side of it. And once more, same with the pink ribbon, you will want to do a little bit extra. And then I just line up, and I actually used a paintbrush for this to push this down. So then I didn't get burned, but we can use a glue stick. So that's what I'm going to use so I don't get burned, because that's not as fun. So once more, just going along the very, very side of the pink ribbon. And just kind of pushing it in. And don't pull the lace too hard, because then it will get all like stretched out and it will be hard to keep that consistency, but kind of keep it nice and loose. So when you're cutting it, once more, just leave a bit extra. Scoot over a little bit for you. All right. And we're just about done the lace on this side. Because you can feel kind of with lace, sometimes you can get a little bit of give, and you just don't want to stretch it like that. You want it to be able to lay pretty and loose. Okay. And that side is done. And once more, we'll just leave the extra flap in there and worry about that after. So we're coming along. All right, and now to do the other side. And once more, just the same thing. We're just going to go ahead and add it along. And because there's so many elements to it, that's why you can kind of get away with eyeballing it and it not being totally perfect. All right. Oh, tuck that in a little bit more. Kind of like it if you can see how the ribbon kind of has, let's see if it'll zoom in on that. It has like a little bit of a line on the edge. I like to kind of cover that up just a little bit with the lace. I think it just kind of looks more pretty that way. So if you're able to just cover that little ridge of the ribbon, then I think it looks just a little bit cuter. All right, and we're just about done with the lace. All right. And it's nice because the lace is thick enough to be able to kind of cover the hot glue underneath, you know, otherwise it can look bulky, but this one is thick enough, and like I said, it was totally at the dollar store. So same thing, we're going to flip it over and curve in those edges. Okay, and this is where you can definitely get burned, so make sure you're being extra careful because lace has all those holes in it, right? And just make sure you totally get it down because you don't want it flapping out and escaping on you. And you can even use the top of your glue gun to avoid that. I have a little bit extra here, so I'm just going to glue down the closer area, and then I'll snip off the extra. Alright, then I'll show you. Snip off the extra, because you don't need a whole lot. And square down the sides. You don't want it catching on anything either. Alright. Alright, and same thing with that one. That one's kind of longer, so I've got lots of extra to work with. You know, and like I said, I kind of like cut these a little bit closer, so it's always better to have a little bit extra. So I would suggest go ahead and doing a full inch when you're measuring, a full extra inch on either side. And I mean, the dollar store often has like square shaped ones, so you can keep it nice and simple and just do a nice little fold on the edges. All right, so that's what we got, and see how the lace has room to kind of move as it wishes. Here you go. All right, so that's the real basics. And then what I did to add a little more flair to it, oh, we better get the ribbon on the top actually before I get distracted by the pretty things. All right, so ribbon on top. I went ahead and did the back first, so try and find where that hole was because it got covered up because we wrapped over it, right? So try and find where that hole is. And I just use scissors to kind of poke through. Sorry, you guys. My phone is actually sitting in a mug, so it's kind of moving as it wishes. I thought I had a good spot, but we'll see. All right, and then go ahead in this side. I'm so sorry, you guys. All right, and then go ahead from this side, and you want it that way because this one, you don't want the material coming up through. You want it going down in. All right, so depending on how long you want yours to be, I would say at least 1 foot for good measure. You can always cut off the extra if you don't want it. Sorry, you guys. This was holding really well for a long time. All right, maybe that will do it. Fingers crossed. All right. So I got my ribbon. And I used a bit of a thicker one. Sometimes if you use thinner ones that the scissors will poke through, then it'll be a little bit more complicated. Like it might start to fray and stuff, but that's kind of why I wanted the thicker ribbon for it. So, show you here. Push it on through. Okay, and sometimes it doesn't go through all the way the first time. Just gather up a little bit more. I find if you go like right in the middle of the ribbon, put the scissors right in the middle of the ribbon and push it on through. We'll see if it's coming through this side. We got a little piece. There we go. All right. And then what I did, because I'm extra paranoid about things just kind of coming apart, so I went ahead and double knotted it. And of course I did it the wrong way where it's more like a slip knot. Sounds like my husband just got home. The dogs always go wild every time somebody comes home. All right, so I did the knot, and then I pulled actually on the circle side of it, you know, on the loop side of it, so then it tightened more upwards instead of downwards. So it gave me a little bit more of a bigger loop that way. See, and I did it again like a slip knot. I always get that crossover wrong. All right, and so I don't have to worry about that lovely little slip knot that I've created. I do gluing on the back, and also to get that knot so then it's not in the front, and it also will help bring it away from the wall a little bit. All right, so get our trusty glue gun out again. Fill in that spot and make sure it's good and down. Exactly where you want it to be. Okay, and we'll just let that sit for a minute so then we'll get back to flipping over. And on retrospect, you probably want to do your decorating before you do this, because as you lay it down, it won't lay down as flat. So this is just for the blank canvas, so whatever you want to do on the other side, nice and easy. All right, so we got our hook. It's all ready to go. So I mean, you could go ahead and like put a picture on, do a decoupage picture onto here, or I was actually going to do a wall decal and put it on, but I just couldn't find one that was nice enough. Unfortunately, at the dollar store, you know, you get what you get. All right, so now what I did was I thought it would be a good idea for it to be able to hold pictures. So I got these clips from the dollar store. So they're like this. That's the packaging for them. And they're magnetic, but we're not going to need the magnets. And apparently one of them lost their magnet. So, oh, it's in this one. Oh dear. There we go. Let's put it back where it belongs. There we go. All right, so the magnets aren't really important, and apparently they come out. So you could take them out, but they do make it easier to stick it to it when it's flat. All right, so what I did, once more, we're just eyeballing it because I don't have any measurement things. And so this was about the size of a picture, and so I decided to use that. So I kind of grabbed a picture, so you could grab a 4x6 picture and just kind of measure out where you would like it to be. So that's what I did. And so the way that I liked it was trying to give a little bit more room so then you could still see the background in between it, and then have it not too close to the edge. So it's not necessarily easy to get that all lined up, so take your time And then sometimes when you glue it, you know, you miss the mark. All right, so I've got it lined up where I want it. And once more, happy little glue gun. All right, and just put a nice big wad of glue there. All right, and the next one. All right. Make sure I don't glue my pictures to it. Make sure they're angled good. And then just let them dry. All right, so while we're letting them dry, we'll go ahead and do our nice little flower bow. All right, so this one I really just like kind of made up as I went along, which, you know, I do. All right, so just a nice little one. So I just did a loop and put the glue down on it. Definitely lots of potential to burn yourself again. All right, and then try and do a loop about the same size on the other side. So got that going on. Glue it down again. All right, and kind of on an angle so then you can pull it out. All right, and loop on top of itself. Just crossing over like that. So it'll kind of create an X as it crosses over another 2 times. So yeah, I'm not great with bows, so this is what I do. I kind of just create my own style of bows. So this is once more a nice easy way that anybody can do. All right, and then we'll go like this. So I just keep on kind of folding it around and trying to get a little bit of an angle so then it spreads it out a little bit. All right, and then we'll go right around the front of it. So we'll actually do a dab right in the middle. So it's coming around. This last one, you just kind of go right over. Okay. And then right over the top, and that will be the end of it. Okay. Alright, glue that down. Oh, that's almost the end of my glue stick. Alright, not quite as cute as the other one, but not bad. And once more, I'm just going to snip off that extra. Oops. Alright. So that's my kind of flower. And then, once should be good and dry. It's good and dry. So I can put my pictures on again to see where about it's going to be sitting, where everything sits, so then I can know where to put my flower. Alright, got that on. So I'm just going to put it up here in the corner just like the other one. And I mean, you can do that with the lace if you'd prefer, or the white ribbon. I definitely debated for a little while which one I was going to do. And it kind of doesn't matter which way you do it, so choose whichever side looks prettier to you, because we're going to put a little thing to cover up the center so you don't have to super stress about it. Alright, I just put some glue on, put it there. I actually had gotten some labels, so then I could have put those down and put, you know, like family or friends or something like that. And then just for the center, once more, just super easy. I just folded over this, only about 1 centimeter. And again, and that was enough. And snip. And then just kind of glue that all closed. Okay, so glue it in, fold, kind of like a tri-fold, and again. Okay, and then the part that has the leftover ribbon, you want to just put a little glue dot right in the center. And then I actually tried to do it off center of how it was already flowing in the flower. It's a little off center. All right, everybody. And that's it. That's what we just made. You guys just watch me make that whole thing. That's pretty awesome. All right, I'm going to go ahead and finish off so then you guys don't have to wait too long and it can be nice and quick for everybody. So I just wanted to also share with you guys that I am with my company doing a little bit of a fundraiser for those affected by Hurricane Florence. So if you guys are curious about it, go ahead and message me or go check on my wall or anything like that. And either way, if you guys end up making these, make sure you post them so then I can see them. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.